G'day and welcome to another big edition of the RDFNL Footy Show. Looking back on round one, part two. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by Tara Murray from the Star Weekly. What a big weekend that we had in footy.
I know, we turned to winter. I think the first weekend of round one, I think I nearly got sunburn out at Riddles Creek. This week I nearly got blown away by the wind. So very different contrast in weather conditions and a couple of one-sided results in the two games that did go ahead. Yeah,
probably quite surprising. We'll look at the first game. We'll talk point number one as Melton Centrals and Rockbank. There was only 4 goals in at three-quarter time, and then Centrals kicked away in the final term in incredible circumstances.
Centrals dominated that game. At least 90, probably close to 95% of that game was played in the one half. It was so windy out there. I ended up going out there, and halfway out there was a whole lot of rain. There was cars pulled on the side of the road. I'm like, why am I bothering even going out here? But the seniors game got the best conditions of the day, and Centrals dominated. They were able to have a few scoring shots when they were against the wind. Rockbank didn't even look like it. So it was very, very windy, and Centrals dominated that contest.
Was it just one of those games where the teams just had to survive, really, and they probably won't read too much into their form because, based on the scoreline, Rockbank probably underperformed?
Look, I think Centrals were happy. I spoke to Matt Sproul after the game, and they were happy that it wasn't their type of game. So they're normally a running team and like to get out on the open because they don't have a lot of contested mids. So for them, it was a lot more contested football. So they took some signs out of that, the tackling pressure and that sort of thing that they've been working on the off-season, that they were able to really work on that. Rockbank would have been disappointing. They had a few opportunities in that first quarter when they were kicking to the wind and kicked some out of bounds on the full. So, and a few of the Centrals goals in that second quarter did come from free kicks. A couple were holding the ball, so it was mistakes by Rockbank's part there. So Rockbank would have been disappointed, especially with margin. Centrals were pleased with that win. Fantastic.
Was there any hail over the course of that game, or had that all gone by then?
All gone. I didn't get any hail when I was out at Centrals, so unless there was some a little bit before I arrived there, because I arrived there to watch the netball. And look, you had a little bit of rain in that first quarter, but after that, it was just the wind.
It was tough going over to Trentham and after umpiring the under 19s and basically saying we played almost one half of the game in hail. So and then going over to Trentham and saying, well, as cold as Trentham is, Centrals was probably a little bit worse. So, but congratulations there to Centrals getting their first big win on the board. And the other game that did take place is Wallen beating Broadford at the Harley Hammond Reserve. Tell us about that game.
No surprise there. We expected a big margin. You've got a side that's looking to play finals and a side that's looking to improve on what they did last year. Obviously, probably some good signs for both teams. Wallen had 12 different goal kickers, which is good considering they lost Dan Nolan, who was one of their stars in front of goal last season. So they've got that. They had a range of goal kickers, and a few of those guys who came across last season were named among the best. So they've had 12 months to settle into the system at Wallen and look like they've really benefited from that.
And I think of any team in the competition, they are probably better prepared because they did play practice matches, maybe 4 or 5. They were playing consistently every week. They started before everyone else had Easter off, and then they played practice matches right up until the week before. So in terms of match fitness, I think Wallen, out of every club in the competition, they are ready to go. They've a few additions to the list, but they should be used to playing with each other by now.
Exactly, and probably 12 months ago the question was how would they gel together, because they had a lot of additions. They've had that 12 months, had all those practice matches and got those new guys in as well. So they've really hit the ground running. The
other talking point is Romsey and Diggers Rest did not go ahead, unfortunately, due to weather sort of taking the power out. And the weather gods weren't playing kind to both sides.
It was. I think I said last week that I thought Diggers Rest would win, and Romsey's best chance was if the weather turned horrible. And I was talking to people out at Arnold's Creek, and we're all like, Romsey's the favourites now with the weather the way it was. And then in the end, the game didn't go ahead. So it'll be interesting to see when that game is likely to go ahead. I'd probably expect possibly Queen's birthday weekend. You've got no football there. The other option was probably the split round, but the two teams play on separate weekends of the split round, so it's not as easy just to slip in a game there.
And obviously Interleague is out because we expect both sides to be heavily represented in the list as well, with the talent that both teams have got.
Yep. So obviously, it'll be interesting what goes ahead. I think both teams will want to get this game and try and get the 4 points. I don't think either team would be happy to just settle with 2.
Definitely watch this space in the next 24 hours with all the updates on that one. Tara, thanks so much for joining us. Looking back on round one has finally come to a conclusion. It's been a bit of a long haul, but we're looking forward to catching up with you later on the week as we preview a round 2 games.
Thanks for having me.